haven't watched a Shoe0nhead video in a little bit. We'll watch one now. This is called America is in Shambles. And notably, the ad that she's running on this particular video is both in the description and her pinned tweet. I'm so Twitter-pilled. Her pinned comment. Compare news coverage from diverse sources around the world on a transparent platform driven by data. Try Ground News. Get your shield ass news subscription for 40% off. Oh man, pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to see what this is. You know what? I agree that America is in shambles, though we could be on the come up a little bit. But I bet we disagree for the reasons why.
My fellow Americans, I regret to inform you that it is that time again. Election time. Every 4 years we have to deal with this. Are you voting for the red pedophiles or the blue pedophiles? The red drone strikes or the gay drone strikes? Dead Palestinians or dead Palestinians? We're tired of it. They should just pick one guy to protect democracy and have him rule forever. And I believe that guy should be me. I am officially announcing that I have once again decided to run for president. I know.
You know, I don't know what I expect when I click on this. Like, I don't disagree with her or anything, but like at least yet, but the tone of the videos has not changed, and I don't know what I expected, but like maybe over the years something to develop in there. I don't know.
No, my last campaign didn't go very well after they found the tweets. Black people say it all the time. I can't say it. Let's take a look at our candidates, shall we? Trump, old, orange. Kamala, woman. What is
Kamala?
A filibuster? I don't know. I get all my opinions from Twitter. And my husband. Let's talk about Israel. Build Back Better? Agenda 47? Let me introduce you to the Shoe New Deal. Bring back the red Pizza Hut cups.
What is this video? This was given to me. Mad 2013 energy. I like the red cups too. Is this just, are we just going to be like, America's in shambles and we're just going to, she marries to the Nazi? Yeah, she married he's a Catholic nationalist. Yeah. Haha, I'm a shit poster. I don't care because nothing affects me. Right, like it's just like disaffected memes or something. This is what we're doing?
Universal guns for all. Make McDonald's colorful again. No more of this millennial gray shit, folks.
I promise this is going to get into something, right? In a minute.
Government-sponsored big titty goth girlfriends. Make it illegal to be mean to me. Imprison people who sleep in jeans. And finally, deport all the Greeks. Who's gonna be my VP? Alex Jones. So vote for me. Or else. The DNC.
Hell yeah, it's over. That was a bit? What was the bit?
Your daddy said that my dick tasted like cherry wine.
Okay. I had no idea she was such an environmentalist. 100% recycled joke content in every episode. Yeah. Well, look, that's 90 seconds. I'm sure the first impression was just poor, and the next few minutes will be good. She is capable of not being a dummy. I've seen it happen, but we'll see what happens. I don't... My expectations are on the floor. So, she said absolutely fucking nothing yet, though. Don't want to alienate anybody or something? I don't know. Tells you everything you need to know about the target audience. I mean, yeah. Just, ugh.
DNC is being held in Chicago. There's a Kennedy in politics and an assassination attempt. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 1968. It has been a crazy few weeks. I'm sorry that I have been gone. I've been very busy, as some of you know now, and as some of you guessed. I have recently had a baby. And as it turns
out,
that takes up a lot of your time. And it's weird, like, I don't really care about politics anymore. But at the same
I don't really care about politics anymore. The last thing you should say when you have a child is that you don't care about politics anymore. Because now the politics matter even more for your fucking progeny, dude. I don't understand. That should make... that should be... You should be more invested in the future.
Time... I care about them more than ever. Like, I feel like I care more about the future, but also I don't care about what this political streamer said about this political streamer. It is...
That's not what politics is. What?
So freeing. I highly recommend it. And even though I told myself I am taking a break from politics, I am retired until further notice, I just couldn't help myself. Too much has happened. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. The news has been absolutely insane. I cannot keep up with it. The media has been more biased and extreme than usual, but thankfully there is a tool to help you navigate through all of that.
We're here for the ad right away. I mean, fine, fuck it. Gotta get the bag because we had a kid. All right, cool. Are we done? Is this still happening? Okay. Share the report.
You can even see how easy it is. For example, this city favorite plan. It's all biased and fake and bought by big pharma and the military-industrial complex, blah, 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 you know me. So instead, I tune into the real news.
Will Donald Trump win the next presidential election? No, thank you. Will Joe Biden be the president for the next 4 years? No. Interesting, thank you. Is the ocean considered another dimension? Yes, thank you.
Trump and Biden had a debate, and well, it went exactly how we all expected.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do.
That was bad. That was a bad night.
With more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
You know, I have my opinions, but let's see what the American people thought. I forgot to watch. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the...
You answered every question? The bar is in hell. At first, Democrats tried to play it off like Biden had a cold. They can only keep...
This is 3 days old. It feels like so long ago.
Biden in the basement for so long, and now the whole world sees his brain melting live on TV.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
They couldn't deny it anymore, and people have been talking about it for years. I have been talking about it for years. We all saw it, and it's only gotten worse. And it's like fucked up to think about because it just kind of shows like, of course we all knew this, but they really don't give a fuck about us. If this is truly the most important election of our lifetime, and if democracy is at stake, why were you putting up this rotting corpse of a man?
So he wasn't a rotting corpse when he won that election. He became a rotting corpse as time wore on. And then they dismounted from that. And that's what we were saying, and then they changed it. And so now the energy is... Well, now the other guy's the rotting corpse, right?
Democrats had 4 years to find someone else. 4 years.
Yeah. Kamala was right there. It worked out. I don't care. Look, I have no expectations for fucking liberals, okay? We knew what we were getting when we voted for these fuckers. They're liberals. I do not expect greatness. I expect to be able to cling on while we slowly chip away and get more progressives in. And that has been happening, okay? That is exactly what's happening. That's the method right now because the system is fucked.
There are a ton of other options. Like, I would vote for Gavin Newsom.
Why?
I don't know any of his policies, but he looks like a serial killer, and that's enough. This is why we need to repeal the 19th.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, what a fucking pick me. Stop. Stop it. Stop. There's like these constant... Every time we watch one of these videos, she says something like, I should have fewer rights. Like, why? Why is that thing... Why is that a thing you think is, like, funny? Man. Ugh. You're such a cuck now. God. Such a cuck.
I'm just kidding. Am I? Everything I say is a joke, unless you agree with it, then I'm serious. There's just no way Trump...
Every time. It's like literally her whole thing. That's the whole fucking problem, man.
Trump is losing. It would take a miracle. It would take something like, I don't know, Trump getting shot in the head at a rally in Pennsylvania.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
He did not get shot. Of course she cuts to this, right?
Oh yeah. He's winning. I shit.
Oh yeah, he's winning. Cope? This is 3 days old. No one cares about this. Everyone forgot about it. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck.
You not. I found out.
His ear is fine, by
I
the way.
love salami.
Yeah, he did not get hit by A little late to put this out, huh? Yeah, was it sitting on the cutting room floor? It's not just the jokes, the opinions are secondhand too, right? And they're late.
About this because of a meme on Twitter. The world could be ending, and I wouldn't know unless I saw a meme on Twitter. The bullet just grazed his ear because he turned at the last second to look at some immigration chart. Being racist literally saved his life. There's a lesson in that.
What's the lesson, Shoe? That we should take more shots? Like, what? So, what's the lesson, man? There's a lesson in being racist. Cool, dude. Fucking dope, man.
The shooter was identified as Thomas Crooks, a 20-year-old who managed to find an unoccupied, unguarded roof not too far from the rally.
Like, she lampshades that's just a joke, wink, wink. And then, like, the dumbass fucking Zoomer Coomer that's in her comments down here does not think she's joking, thinks she's dog whistling, which she is, and is totally like, yeah, I love being racist. Being racist is good and makes me survive bullets or some shit now. Like, I don't think you're going to give them a false sense of security as far as bullets are concerned. But it does give them, it emboldens them to think like, oh, racism is cool. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing that. To deny it is fucking whack and like small-minded. I think you should acknowledge that you do this and just be like, yeah, I know I'm doing it. You make more money anyway. Isn't that what this is for? Just acknowledge it.
Somehow knew that roof would be unguarded, laid down and aimed a rifle at the former president without being noticed. Oh wait, he was noticed. By everyone except the people who should have noticed.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. Gary is right there. Where? Right there, you see him? He's laying down, you see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
He's on the roof! He's right here!
We have people that
Right
should not be
here!
here.
Right on the roof!
Either this was insane incompetence, or they let it happen.
Oh my god, and now she's doing conspiracy theories? She watches Fox News now all the time. You could see it. You could see what's happening. And she made the lampshading joke like, oh, I get all my opinions from my husband. And it's like, kind of through osmosis, obviously. Like, what the fuck?
Being a racist isn't illegal.
You can break up with Gerg, but Gerg will never truly leave you. She's worse now. They're both worse. Isn't that crazy? Holy shit.
I'm leaning more towards the former because if you look at our bridges and airplanes, America's in shambles. People were laughing about how some of the cops protecting Trump were women and like, come on now, that's sexist. They were making these awful memes like this. No, but like actually
That's sexist. And then I laugh at the sexist joke?
though, why did they have a 5'3" woman protecting a 6'3"
And then you just do the sexist joke. You go, that's sexist, but I don't care.
man? The shooter could have had
But you know what you're doing, dude.
another clear shot of his head. Like, look at that. Look at that. What is that? Like, what happened? Did the Secret Service initiate some DEI program? That would be like some
Haha. We're just literally copying the script from Fox? Was this a DEI program? Like, literally listen to yourself. This is just I can't, she's making boomer bait. Does she upload to Facebook? This is boomer bait.
something out of a right-wing boomer meme.
To expand
Literally.
they're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030.
Oh no. Breaking.
Oh no.
FBI confirms that Trump's ear was struck by a bullet. Wow, thanks guys. How much do we pay you in taxes again? Also, now that the FBI said it, I'm kind of doubting it. This is like when the government confirmed there were aliens and then I stopped believing that there were aliens. The way we were so close to just seeing Trump's head be blown into smithereens, the worst way to be blown, it is so crazy. Like, what was the motivation behind this? I mean, the shooter would have to be some crazy leftist or maybe a crazy far-right person who didn't like Trump, right? Well, we don't know, because apparently
We do know he was definitely a MAGA guy that didn't like Trump. Probably because of the Epstein ties or something like that. Yeah, he is a right-winger. COVID seriously broke so many people's brains. Did she even have COVID? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't think it was COVID. I think it's the Tradcath dick.
apparently this 20-year-old had no social
She's literally always moved in the direction politically of her partner. It's crazy.
media presence. Okay, we do know that he donated to the Democrats and was a registered Republican. The internet was really desperate to find any kind of motive, but the only thing the media seemed to report on was the fact that the last thing he did was watch porn, getting in one more goon sesh before getting shot in the head by the feds. Personally, I think it's important to know what kind of porn he was looking at. I think that will set the record straight. Was it furry porn? Leftist. Hentai? Right wing. Feet? Centrist. Latex balloon inflation BDSM sissy hypno? Shoe0nhead fan. I always thought about like
he posted Nazi shit online, dude. He was obvious. He was far right.
If the MK Ultra suddenly kicked in and I went on like a killing spree, good luck figuring out my politics. Trump
Good luck figuring out my politics. You're right wing.
shooter used gaming site that features presidential assassination game. So for those of you who don't know, they're talking about Steam. He doesn't even own the game. He didn't even play the game. This would be like being called a pedo because you have Netflix and Cuties is on Netflix even though you never watched Cuties. He's not trans. He's not Muslim. We can't figure out his political identity. Who do we blame? Gamers. Now, I'm not a believer in stochastic terrorism. I think that's a little goofy.
Why? What's goofy about it? Is there anything that we need to, like, this? There's a whole articles on it. Stochastic terrorism is targeted political violence that has been instigated by hostile public rhetoric, which is directed at a group or individual. This is like, no, we know it's not. What do you mean you disagree that it's a thing? I don't. What? How can you? You can't. It's like thinking adverbs aren't real just because you don't understand them or something. Well, it's just like kind of how some speech works, you know? It's just it's conceptual speech.
People should be allowed to criticize people, but if you're like...
That's not criticism. That's not what stochastic terrorism is. Criticism?
He's Hitler, he's Hitler, he's Hitler, he's Hitler! Eventually someone is gonna try to kill Hitler, but it is...
$1. Well, yeah. I mean, but that's not a claim that... Jake, this whole video, yeah.
It is crazy to think about how, like, this will be in the history books. This will be in my son's history book. But it will look more like this. Now,
and no one will remember it. She's saying the shooter is left-wing. She's trying.
Now, unfortunately, someone did die. One of the bullets hit Corey Comparator as he was protecting his family. But there were people, like, mocking this, which is insane to me. Like, it's one thing to make fun.
Well, he was a racist, so he caught a bullet for no fucking reason at a Trump rally, right? It's like being upset the Nazi got hit at a Nazi rally, right? I mean, except the difference is, of course, that, like, you know, the information age keeps Nazis from, like, really gaining the kind of, like, social hold on people that it once did, because that sort of starts in, like, personal, like, little cliques, and then they all go to a big rally together. And this one is, like, just all open together, so you're, like, just exposed, and people just they find it distasteful and antisocial. So he's mocking dead Palestinians. They'll get over it. Yeah, they'll get over dead Palestinians. Well, I guess his family will get over him taking a bullet for Trump. What a patriot! What a noble sacrifice, right? He just had to. You know, God just needed another angel. That's all. That's all.
One of a failed assassination attempt, even a successful assassination attempt on a politician. If we can't mock or criticize the people in power, there is an issue. But it's another thing to
mocking and criticizing Donald Trump, calling him Hitler, and not thinking it's a big deal that someone missed a shot at him. Yeah.
To mock a innocent Trump supporter that died.
He's not innocent, actually. He went to a Trump rally, supported Donald Trump publicly, and then sat behind him in the front row, which is, of course, going to come with a little bit of risk inherently at a public rally like that. But, of course, you suspect the Secret Service to do their job. And then he was a racist mocking dead Palestinians. So, like, I mean, I'm not sad about it. That's tough, man. I guess... maybe you should have made better life choices. If you were a better person, you wouldn't be at a Trump rally. You feel me? So, yeah. I mean, I'm not cheering it on. I just don't care. It doesn't get the needle going for me, you know? Tough, I guess. You can't be out here like, little kids are fucking getting murdered on purpose by, like, Israeli snipers, and you're laughing. I mean, cool. I guess you also got by a sniper. Except at least yours was on accident. You know what I mean? There wasn't even any malice behind it. No hate. He just caught a stray, man.
The guy didn't have any power. He wasn't a politician. He was just a dude. I don't like where stuff like this leads. And sure, you could say, oh, if a Biden supporter died, you know, MAGA would be laughing about it too. And, like, sure, like, can you just have some principles? Oh,
yeah, sure. Can you have some principles? What do you mean you have some principles? Have some principles. What's the principle here? Bad when people die? Okay. So anyone that dies, it's bad that happened? I disagree. Also, how Trump completely fought against paying venue fees to use indoor venues for the Secret Service, had been telling him to do that for his rallies the whole time. well, I don't know anything. I'm sure his greed plays into it.
Speaking of, libs of TikTok started doxing people for making jokes about the assassination on, like, Facebook and getting people fired from their jobs, including some old lady who, like, worked at Home Depot. Like, her life is miserable enough, man. She's, like, 65 working at Home Depot. Libs of TikTok just completely...
Little classism for you. Let's fucking go.
Forgetting.
I'm sure her life just has to be miserable because she works at Home Depot and is 65 years old. Couldn't possibly just be, like, something she's there for.
The reason she started the
Home Depot confirmed that never happened. They never fired her.
Account in the first place to make fun of cringy liberal behavior, like getting people fired for jokes and political opinions online. I have been incredibly consistent over the years. Consistently retarded. But one of the things I've been very consistent
Cool. Fucking cool, dude.
On, one of my principles is being against getting people fired for, like, things they said online. If you don't have principles, you are no better than your enemy. And
So anything someone says online they can't get fired for? Look, I don't think that lady should have been fired for being pro-Palestine, obviously. I don't think most people should be fired for sharing normal political takes in a political environment. Like, even as something as disgusting as just being a pro-Israel person in general, I don't think should get you fired. If you are saying, however, that you think children should be fucking murdered and shit, I think it's okay if your employer's like, well, I don't really think you should be, publicly, making our business look like we support something like that by hiring you or whatever. And I think it'd be within their rights to get rid of somebody if they're saying disgusting shit. I think there's a difference between, like, having some political take, which might be like, oh, I support the statehood of Israel. I mean, it comes with a lot of inherent bullshit if you're taking that position, but, like, I think you could take that while just being, like, ignorant and not evil, but, like, some people are pieces of shit. I think some, there's people that say all sorts of fucking crazy shit, like, especially about kids and stuff, that I think you would support them getting fired, so I don't actually think she has this opinion when it comes down to it, especially not when leftists get fired.
And it just becomes this extremely toxic back and forth, this toxic cycle. And you all look like psychopaths while I'm here on the sidelines, principled and losing. Forever. Like, social media, when this all was going down, was a train wreck.
I think she thinks having a hard line in the sand on some issue is what a principle is. And it's like, well, I think a real principle would be understanding, like, where your morals lie, because I don't always think that every single, like, stealing in general is bad, because typically we steal from the same class, and that is just harming the people that need resources and stuff. But I do not think, much like Robin Hood, that stealing from the rich, is bad necessarily. Like, it could be bad, I guess, depending on how you did it, but, I don't think in general it's bad to, like, steal from a fucking warehouse. A crime that is illegal, and you got to roll the dice on that, whether or not you think you can heist something. But I really don't. I mean, I don't think it's like a, immoral act if what you're trying to do is just survive or whatever, and you think this is your best way to do it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's lots of people that do crime or whatever for survival necessities, and I think that's a indictment on the system of capitalism in America in general, rather than the person forced to do whatever it is they need to make ends meet or whatever. Because I have principles. So in the same way of this free speech stuff, like, I think some free speech is fine, and I think there's some speech that isn't free. Harassment comes to mind, or stochastic terrorism.
Oh, speaking of train wrecks, the RNC happened.
Let me hear you cheer if you support Israel.
Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother.
We become totally unhinged if Donald Trump is not elected in November.
Look at that guy. Ah! Never mind, I'm won over. I'm a Republican. I'm just kidding.
At the RNC.
Does you think that worked on anybody? They got a doggy? Worked on Karlin Borisenko. They were nice to me and gave me a dog. I'm a Republican now.
See, Trump finally announced his VP pick, J.D. Vance, a man who, according to Snopes, did not, in fact, fuck a couch.
He did, though. He actually fucked a couch.
Well, you lost my vote. JD is a senator from Ohio, the author of Hillbilly Elegy, and a terminally online post-liberal who follows me on Twitter.
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but...
Dude, the way this guy talks about his kids is so fucking weird too. Did you hear it? When he got the call from Trump, he was like, yeah, my son was trying to talk to me about Pokemon, and I said, son, could you shut the hell up for a minute? I'm taking the most important phone call of my life. And he tried to laugh at it. Like, it's like, fuck you. You're a bad dad, man. Talk shit about his wife. Not, you know, she's not white, but I love her. Like, what?
It's good.
This is so cringe. Play the long clip, too.
I love you guys.
Nah, a few more seconds, and it gets even worse. There's a couple guys up here saying jokes. They're so funny.
That's my oomphy. This dude follows like 1,000 people, and 2 of them are me and my husband. There is a chance that we have a vice president who has retweeted the words Hitler Bussy 420. Oh, they did it. They literally did write about Mountain Dew being racist. I hate it here. After posting on Twitter that he was dropping out, we didn't hear from Biden for a few days, and people started suspecting that he was dead. People genuinely thought the DNC took him out behind the shed and put him...
Who is her husband? Exactly. He is a dork on Twitter. That's it. He doesn't do anything. He makes bad videos. They're not even interesting. I literally have tried. How does she not understand that JD Vance is cringe because he's a fan of people like her and her husband? Right, that's part of it, yeah.
Him down like an old dog. The shooter missed. Quick. Plan B. Kill Biden. Phones don't even look like this anymore. This man's brain was so fried he had to drop out of the race, but he's still the president? We have a president who is too senile to run for president. So who is going to run for president? Who is coming to save us?
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Just as I predicted.
I'm coconut pilled.
5 years ago.
America might get its first female president because the president stepped down or died. Empowering!
I don't know if you guys remember, but Kamala was not popular at all during the 2019.
So the right, like Shoe0nhead, has been trying to do this thing like, oh, they didn't like her because she's Cop Mala, and that is true. Okay? She is Cop Mala. And also, she happens to be one of the most progressive candidates that they've ever run.
Well, creepy isn't
so I'm going to vote for her. And she's going to fucking smash Donald Trump. Actual footage of JD on the call.
Someplace else. You $5 billion.
I can't watch any more of that. Deeply DMCA'd.
Democratic
Great movie.
Primaries. She dropped out before Iowa. She was less popular than Tulsi Gabbard. And people don't like...
Dude... She's literally, she's done this 3 days ago. She writes these scripts by going through tweets and copying the words from tweets and putting them in the script for the videos. H-Bomber guy, do a 6-month deep dive on these videos that I'm not ready to do, and I guarantee you could source her words to fucking tweets constantly. I've seen this exact talking point for 2 weeks. Insane. She was less popular than Tulsi Gabbard. She's more popular than Tulsi Gabbard now. I guess cope or whatever. You're gonna lose. It is what it is.
To hear it.
If she picks Shapiro, it makes it a lot closer, but I still think she wins. Shapiro is still infinitely better than JD Vance and stuff. The worst part about Shapiro is his fucking Israel record, and then the second worst thing is that he covered up a murder, probably. And so. Yeah, they shouldn't pick him. They shouldn't pick him at all. I think they're gonna pick Walz. He's polling so well. Everyone keeps doing Walz. Walz would make me very confident. Yeah, and I think the DNC is paying attention to stuff like this. Not like this stream. I mean, like these types of words and thoughts. A lot of people have this sentiment.
But she was literally chosen because of her gender. Like, it's not even a joke. During the debate, when it was Bernie versus Biden, they were asked who they're gonna pick as a VP, and Bernie was like, well, it depends if they're progressive and if they're following a progressive agenda. And Biden was like, I vow to get a female VP. And the crowd went nuts. We might have President Kamala Harris.
Kamala?
Because Biden tried to outwoke Bernie Sanders.
I thought Jake was fucking hot.
It's not outwoking, by the way. Kamala tears down walls every day because she brought her own walls. She brought her own walls? What? This is DEI stuff. A lot of the country wanted that because they wanted representation. This is like just listening to the constituents. That's not like him saying that he specifically wants to do that for some DEI purposes. That is seeing like polling and then the liberals going, we should go with the polling. And it's a very lib thing to say out loud that they're doing that thing to virtue signal it, right? Instead of just doing it or whatever. But like doing it at all is not like a DEI. She's definitely a qualified candidate for president if any of these fucking people are. So like you're not going to win that way. This is a terrible argument. It's just not going to work. She's definitely qualified for this job. Definitely. I mean, fucking Donald Trump, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush. I mean, yeah. There's your fucking standard. There's your fucking bar. So, yep.
Sanders at West Lebanon. Harris is not going to win this election, and she is going to have a very difficult time winning unless she begins to speak forcefully about the needs of the long-neglected working class of this country.
The quote tweets and the replies were just full of thousands of people calling him sexist for this. Bernie is absolutely correct, though. Kamala has been so focused on getting, like, the TikTok vote with her little, like, brat summer thing.
Her brat summer thing? Dude, the memes are going to propel Kamala Harris to the presidency. The only thing she has to do is not pick Shapiro, and I think, based on TikToks and stuff, I don't think they're going to. I don't know, though. She didn't do that, but she jumped in on it. Right, like, that happened organically. Like, the memes happened, and then the Harris campaign interacted with them.
I don't know what the brat is. I'm old, but someone has to remind Kamala Harris that she's running for president of the United States, not president of the gays and women.
Did you know that gays and women make up constituents within the United States? By the way, actually, president of the gays and women is part of it. Yes. President of the United States of America includes them.
White Women for Harris meeting raised millions, broke Zoom.
Yep.
But when I want to have a whites-only meeting, I'm called a racist.
Wow, cool, dude. That's a really sick fucking KKK joke you have there, That's not what it was, by the way. There weren't only white people there. It was a fundraiser targeted at white women. It's not whites only, but cringe reused joke. Yeah, like it's just a demographic get together, man. If you're getting a bunch, they had a white dudes for Kamala Harris too. So there's a big difference. If it's white women for like, this political thing, which includes demographics like that, I think it's not in bad taste. If it was like, oh, the whites only bars, like, yeah, man, that's a little bit different. So, boyfriend writes her scripts, that joke confirms it, dude. It's so bad.
Wow.
As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, the liberals communicate this shit in a cringe way, but I don't hate the heart of it. You know what I mean? I think it's nice. So part of being a guy in general, part of being a white guy, we talk over each other a lot, and so we can talk over anybody. And we think we just have the right to talk over people, and it definitely happens. But I mean, it's not only white people. I mean, there's all sorts of people talk over people all the time. But like, in conversations about like black experience, it's good not to like be like, oh, actually, I know all about this because I'm a white guy and I know stuff. It's like, it's just contextual. But liberals don't know how to talk about this shit very well because they're worried about their like office jobs and don't spend all their time on Twitter like I do and online. Shit's cringe, but it's an event to reach out to suburban white women. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Exactly. I'm okay with a little cringe. I don't mind. I agree. Like the spirit of that conversation is fine. Okay. If we're rough around the edges on the wording and stuff, we'll work on it. The liberals will come around to the good stuff and just realize that like they don't have to try so fucking hard all the time, and they don't have to try so fucking hard all the time. It becomes patronizing, right? If you just actually are open to having other people around you and having like a demographically diverse situation at whatever place, that'll just happen organically and you won't have to try, right? Like, that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're pushing for. But you kind of have to like push back and maybe even overcorrect for some of the practices that have put into place that have harmed these marginalized communities in the past. And so, yeah, I mean, you're going to have a cringe phase as the liberals unlearn their shit. It's whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. This is not this is a bad point too. They're cooked. This is the kind of stuff they're trying to bring up against Kamala. They're cooked.
Can Kamala Harris pull off a victory in 3 months? 3 top strategists lay out how. How do you run a 3-month campaign in an era when presidential campaigns have become years-long affairs? We gathered 3 top campaign managers to ask just that. We spoke with Patty Solis Doyle, who ran Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential primary campaign, Robbie Mook, who ran Clinton's 2016 general election campaign.
Hi, Hillary Clinton team? Yeah, I need advice on how to win. What? Do you think Hillary's like seething? If there's any reason to vote for Kamala, it's just to make Hillary extremely mad.
Also, Donald Trump would go to prison. Just saying. That's too. Also, he would be seething. Oh man, 2 of the worst people that have ever been like in politics to be mad. Oh my god.
It was supposed to be me! The Democrats are voting for a cop and the Republicans are voting for a felon. And one of the candidates' VP is a Shoe0nhead fan. Wild timeline we're on, folks. It's silly season. I don't know who's gonna win. All I know is that this is a race between 2 very different candidates.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Anyway, that was
Yeah, it's funny. That was good.
my little political video. I just wanted to cover everything that happened so we can like look back on this during World War III and see how easy we had it. So
Oh, cool.
what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win? Not who do you want to win, who do you think is going to win? Big thank you to everyone who donates to me on
Kamala. I'm not going to give you more clickies. Very funny stuff. So disaffected. So above it all. It's just a tired bit, in my opinion. I mean, it still works for her. She still gets lots of views or whatever. Cool. Do your thing. Make your bag. To pretend that you're, like, principled or something is fucking wild to me. Tradcath. Her husband's a tradcath, yeah. Important context.
That lady that she took out of context to be cringe from the whites for the white women.
Oh, yeah.
Thing. Her whole bit is that she does gentle parenting talk for.
She was being cringe on purpose.
It's a skit. She does shit as skits.
That's a skit.
It's one of those.
That was beautiful.
It's one of those things where a right winger took someone out of context because they don't understand what jokes are.
Okay, yeah. I was like, that's cringe. That's pure cringe.
Her whole method of speech is that she does she talks like gentle parenting to adults who should know better, kind of stuff.
What is one thing we can see that isn't a tattoo? What's one thing you can smell? Shine on, okay? What other people do with their body is none of your beeswax, friend.
Yeah, holy shit. Okay. That's fucking... Yeah, that's something.